Hello everyone. So in today's videos we're going to be talking about functions. Now functions are kind of like how we think of functions in math, where we put something into it and we get we put an input into it and we get an output out of it. They don't exactly work in the same way, but that's the basic gist behind them. And we've already worked with functions before, such as the print function. The print function is something Python has already defined for us, where it literally prints the values to our output. So, the first program people learn about is the Hello World program, where it just prints out Hello World. Let me get rid of some of that stuff. Prints out Hello World in our output. And we can, put numbers in here, like different data types, like 2, etc. We have another function, the type function, that lets us know what the data type of an object is. So if I put a 3 in there, it prints out class int, which means the data type is an integer. If I put 3.14, the class is a float, since it's a floating variable. So, what other predefined functions do we have? Well, there's the round function, where it rounds some value to an integer. So, like 3.14, whatever. Let's put that there. And when we print that out, it goes to 3. Now, if I were to change this to like a 6, I'd round it up to a 4. Same as if I were to put a 5 there, because it's going to round it like how we normally do with numbers, where it goes, if it's 5 and above, it rounds up. There's another way you can use the round function, which is if you put a comma and then like 2, it rounds it to 2 decimal values, so 3.34. If I put a 3, it rounds it to 3.44. But notice our value is 3.34. 3. So because there's that 9, it does round that 3 up to a 4 for the 3.344. Some other functions we have are like the power function, where we take 3 to the third power, and that gives us 27. Or 3 to the second power gets us 9. 5 to the second power gets us 25. 5 to the fifth power gets us 3,125. And we also have something called the absolute function, where it prints out the absolute value. So let's say it's -5. It's going to change it to +5. If it's -5.32, it's +5.32. And if there's a positive inside our absolute value, it still just keeps it positive, just like it does in math. Now, these are some basic examples of predefined functions. There's a lot more. One more we could go over is like the type conversions, where if we put int as a function and put some value into it, we get out an integer conversion of that value, where it separates it from the decimal place. So no matter how high it would be, it still just keeps it as 5. Or if we have a float conversion, and I have 6, it converts it to 6.0. And I can have string conversions. Actually, what is it? str. Where it converts 6 into a string 6. Or 5.0 as the string 5.0. You can't really tell right now because it's just printing out the same thing, but it's not treating it as like a value. It's treating it as a string. See, if we try to add 3 to it, we can't add an integer to a string. So, these are examples of some predefined functions. In the next video, we'll talk about how we can make our own functions.